Good morning. How y'all doing on today? Today is Friday. God, what you want me to speak on? I'm just smile talking. I try to smile talk in between the revelations. When God showed me stuff, it be so extreme. And I'm assigned to do warnings. Like that's my assignment. And I even went to him. Like, dang, I gotta do one. Why I got to do one? He said, that's what I want you doing. I went to him and asked him why I'm doing warnings a while back. I was like, dog, because I started paying attention to what I was seeing. Like, I didn't know it was just warnings that I was doing, but I would notice, like, the type of stuff that I would see. And I was like, dang, why I got to be stuck doing warnings? Because the people do warnings going to be the most hated. Don't nobody want to hear no warning. Yeah, it's understood. So, God know what I'm working with out here. Like, he already know. He know people is not going to receive what I got to say. Because I'm coming before he chastised them. And so they looking at me. So, yeah, so with me knowing this already, that's why I walk how I walk, do what I do, say what I say. That's why I walk like this. Because I'm dealing with resistance. If they hated Jesus, they going to hate me. So, expect it. And so, yeah. So, he just told me that I'm assigned to do one. And so, hey, that's what I do. So, I do try to break the ice and smile talk in between all this. And in between all this seriousness. You know what? I think God created this, like, balance with me. I'm super serious. And I'm also super silly to balance the seriousness of it. I'm super goofy. So I be so serious. Like, some people probably like, can I even take her serious? But yeah, take me extremely serious. Like, it's no joke. I'm the real deal. It's no joke. But God got me like extra goofy to balance out the extra serious side of me. So it's a balance. It's like I'm one extreme or the other. Either I'm extremely serious or I'm extremely goofy. It ain't no middle. It's like one extreme or the other. And like, what side of me you gonna get? So, smile talking God. Yeah, what is we smile talking about? I don't know what to say. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I know, in the Bible, I speak on this song. Dang, I have to pray. Certain songs have spirits on them. And you can tell if it got a spirit on it. Because me, I don't really listen to music. Like, I don't really listen to music. I don't even really watch TV. Like really nothing. But certain songs. Now, I have been listening to that song with Kanye West and XX Temptation. I'm confessing, y'all. I listened to that song. Okay. To the Kanye West song, the XXX. Like, I listened to that song that he got out. Because I know XXX, my kids kind of like him a lot, and they kind of gravitated to him when he was alive before he got killed. So, I was like, oh, XXX song. So I listened to, so he got a song with him that I was like listening to. Okay. So, some of these songs got spirits on them. And me, I'm spiritually woke. I'm just spiritually woke. So, you can tell if a song got a spirit on it because it'll play in your subconscious, even with you not listening to it, not watching it, not doing nothing. It's like a form of torment. It's like, how sometimes you have a free will and you choose, ooh, let me listen to this song, and you listen to it and you like, yay, and you just enjoying it. Well, you can tell if a spirit is on the song because against your free will, you ain't even sitting here saying, I want to listen to this. This song is playing in your subconscious over and over and over, like a broken record player. But it be to the point where it's like a form of torment. So that's how you could tell. Well, that's how I could tell if a song got a spirit on it. Because that's how it'll play in my subconscious. Like, it just, boop, this song will just be playing, y'all. it'll just be playing like without me. I'm like, I don't even listen to songs. So how this stuck in my subconscious like this? But we have to pray without ceasing, because it's no way we can separate the good from the bad. All of it's blended together. Like, we can try to control our environment to a degree. You know, we can kind of try to watch what we see on TV, watch what we listen to. You know, we could try to have some kind of control in that sense, but it's no way on this earth that you're going to completely separate the good from the bad. Like, it's no way. And it's all blended in. So you have to pray daily. You have to pray daily. Like, it's no way. The wheat and the tares is growing together. It's no way to separate, not now, the good from the bad. Everything is just mixed in together. So even if you look on the internet, like, you might be looking at something in the real, they might have a certain music or a certain song playing while you looking at something to cook. Like, you might be like, oh, they cooking macaroni. But then they got a Beyonce song in the background. So you sitting there trying to learn how to make some macaroni, but then you got this witch music in the background playing. So then you looking like, so it's stuck in your subconscious. So not only did you take in the good, you took in the bad in this process. Even, you know, like not even the word, like you didn't even want to hear the song, but the song attached to the video you trying to watch. Like, you really trying to learn how to make this homemade macaroni, but they got this song attached to this video, and this what you trying to cook today. You like, ooh, let me make some macaroni, but they got this witch song attached to it. So you watch this, boom, the day gone, and then like later on, you might hear this song just start playing on its own against your will, and your subconscious it just play like a broken record player. Well, that's how it work with me. It'll play to the point where it just get on my nerve. I'm like, ain't nothing finna disturb my peace. Like, that's how I be. Because the Bible say peace is a gift from God. Like, if you got peace, that's a gift. Like, people do not have peace out here. Some people ain't got no kind of peace out here. Like, they being tormented all day, every day. So for you to have peace, that's a good thing. And that's a blessing. And that's your inheritance. So I take it personal. I'm taking it personal when somebody disturb my peace. I take it personal when these songs play in my subconscious to disturb my peace. Do that make sense? Okay. So, all through the day, you taking in good, but you also taking in bad. It makes me think about, I had listened to this person. Because I listen to people testimonies, because it's really just giving God praise and giving God glory at the end of the day. So I go back and listen to people testimony. So I'm listening to this one person testimony, and it's with Tommy Amari. Like, I'm going to get the name messed up, so I don't even be wanting to say it, but it's this prophet. His name is Tommy Amarami. Like, I can keep going and going. The name is going to get more twisted as I go. But this person, you know, he was interviewing this lady who was just like an ex-Satanist. And she was just saying that she was just moved up real high in the demonic kingdom. And so now that she converted over, she don't try to speak too much on the demonic kingdom, because she was just like, it make people curious, which is me too. Like, you're not going to hear me say too much about the supernatural. Like, when I talk about the spirits and all the stuff that was going on, like, you're not going to hear me say too much, because people become curious, and they going to dig deeper into what's really going on. Like, ooh, is power over there? Okay, let me see what I can do with the power. So I do it for the same reason. Like, people are spiritually weak, and I can't just sit here and speak on everything that I experienced dealing with spirits and this paranormal activity in my house. Like, I can't speak on all that because people are spiritually weak. And me speaking on that will draw them to that type of energy. And I ain't trying to draw people to that type of energy. So I say little small stories here and there. But I'm not trying to give darkness glory. I'm not trying to give darkness glory. So I'm listening to her story. And she just telling me, she's just going through, you know, just talking about all the stuff. But she's not trying to give too much detail about, like, the journey. And I'm listening, and I got a little spirit, you know. I'm not like I'm not trying to be. I ain't trying to be like cocky with it, but I'm like, Dang, I'm trying to see what's going on. But she purposely was avoiding like everything that was going on because spiritually weak people will be listening to this. But me, I'm like, I need some more detail with this. I understand people spiritually weak, but I need to hear some more. But she was doing it as a form of protection. But me, I'm really trying to figure out what all really been going on. I ain't spiritually weak. I'm just really want to know some details. I like when people get a testimony and they speak on everything that was going on. Like, I don't like people get a testimony and then don't even give you like detail of what's going on. Like people, for example, when people be like, yeah, I was into drugs. It's like, what kind of drugs you were into? You know, and don't nobody ever go deep into what they really was going. They weren't like, okay, I started with marijuana, then I started popping pills, like they don't never go into, okay, I was shooting up heroin. Like they never tell you the type of drugs they be doing. So you looking like, okay, you going through life, you know, Satan got a stronghold on you. And in this process, you just be like, yeah, I was just mixed up in all kind of drugs. It's like, what kind of drug you mixed up in? Like, how deep did Satan have you in this? Like, how deep was you being a slave to Satan out here? And it's like, that part is never just really revealed, so to speak. But we the people need to know. We the people need to know how deep and dark this really got. And it seems like people trying to hide it. I'm tickled, y'all, because I'm going to put it all out there. But other people, it seems like when they get a testimony, they be like, okay, let me speak on this. Okay, I'm a water this down. Like, I'm not going to really get it. She didn't do that. Like, I really do understand why she did what she did, this lady who I'm speaking of. But it's certain people, when they get a testimony, people need to hear, like, how low you hit so that other people who might be on their level know it's hope. But when you try to just make it seem like, okay, I was doing drugs, and then you try to get this illusion, in my mind, drugs, okay, weed. You might have been doing crack cocaine, you might have been shooting up heroin, but in my mind, you just leave drugs and then you just leave it to the viewer to try to figure out what kind of drug you doing. Now we need to hear this. Like, we need to know what all you was doing. You know, what all you had to come out of. Like, what did God deliver you from out here? Everybody use drugs so generic. And there's so many different types of drugs. Like, was you on that ketamine? Like, was you on that horse tranquilizer? Like, what you on out here? But people don't get detail of that. I think that that's a huge thing that we need to know. We need to know the deepness and the darkness of how deep, what God delivered you out of. And when you say drugs, my mind, okay, God delivered you from weed. And God could have been delivering you from heroin or something, which is way different. So just the testimony. We need to hear some details about some of these testimonies. You know, certain stuff God be like, hold back, but when you put out there drugs, what kind of drugs? Like, do you know how much drugs out here? I don't have a clue what you mean when you talk about you would deliver from drugs. Like, what would you deliver from? Okay, so this lady, I do understand her position, because that's the reason why I don't get in detail about like my encounters and stuff with the supernatural when I was a kid and being in my dad's house and watching all these skeletons just walk through the house. Like, it's a reason why I don't get into a lot of detail dealing with it, and it's because it's people that's just spiritually weak, and me talking about that would just draw them to that. Like, it just draw them to it. So she was speaking, and the reason why I'm speaking on this, I don't let God guide the conversation. The reason why I'm speaking on this is because she brought up her testimony. You know, now that she's saved, she was just giving her testimony. Because once you live in darkness, you can see all the flaws of the church. So with her being an ex-Satanist and her working for Satan, and then her being delivered and working for God, she could see the weaknesses of the kingdom of God because she worked for Satan. And she know how he operates, so to speak. You got to know your enemy out here. Like, you got to know your enemy. You can't just be like, okay, God, and you don't know what you're fighting up against out here. Like, you got to know Satan. You got to know his devices. You got to know devices. You got to know how he coming. You got to know how he think, how he operate. So you could be 10 toes ahead of him. Like, you could be on your toes out here. Because you dealing with a spirit, a demon that never rests. He was an archangel in heaven. He never rests. His kingdom never rests. Like, he's always in motion. Always in motion. Always moving. Never no rest. That's why the wicked have no rest. He has no rest. So why he gonna give you rest for he ain't got none? So, like, even in the Bible, when he say, when he went to when he was talking to God, he was like, yeah, I'm going in and out the earth trying to seek who I can devour. He ain't got no rest. All he do is go in and out the earth. Just looking, okay, I can go for that one. Okay, I can go for that one. Okay, that one weak. Let me attack that one. That's all he do. All day in eternity. And eternity had no time. Okay, y'all. So, she would get her testimony. Because I'm late. She would get her testimony. And so when she would get her testimony, she was speaking. And she was talking about Adam and Eve. And she was talking about how one fruit, like you had one seed. Remember the tree of life? He said you would know good and evil. Well, she kind of break that down. And this go even back to my video I did when I was speaking on Eve and Adam. And you see me leaning more toward Eve than Adam. Because in that video, Adam disobeyed God. Eve necessarily didn't disobey him. You know, because her covenant was never with God. Her covenant was with Adam. She broke the covenant with Adam, but Adam and God had a covenant where God went directly to Adam and said, do not eat that fruit. There was a covenant that was established between Adam and God, not Adam and Eve. After God told Adam, don't eat that fruit, Adam and Eve established a covenant. And then Adam went to Eve like, look, stay away from that fruit over there. And so Eve, she eat this fruit. So she break the covenant with Adam by eating the fruit. And then when she went and offered it back to him eating this fruit, he broke the covenant with him and God. And like I said, I think that with Eve is more innocent in nature. And she kind of break that down too, because she was like, it's one fruit. Because I don't want to mess this up. And it's vague in my subconscious, but she was just basically saying it was one fruit, one tree, one seed, one fruit. But then from this tree, she was like, saying was like, you will know both good and evil. So it's like you got two elements attached to this one tree. And when Eve ate the tree, it was kind of like innocent and good in nature, like she really didn't know. But when Adam ate the fruit, he had an evil heart to just eat that fruit, because he really deliberately went up against God to do that. Eve never had that covenant, but Adam did. And if you look at the punishment of God, because he had to judge them based on them eating this fruit, Adam had a very harsh punishment. So a lot of times these men be like, well, dang, why I got to go through all this and why this? And because the punishment and the curse of man was so severe. Like, he really cursed man behind Adam eating that fruit as opposed to Eve. Like, Eve, she was punished, like, okay, you're going to go through this and that. But then at the same time, I saw it as he was blessing her, because he like, by your heel, you're going to stump the serpent. So he really was speaking that, I'm finna come through you. Like, I'm finna come through you in the flesh. I'm finna come through you in the flesh. You gonna have to birth me into the world. So in a way, even with her disobedience and she had this innocence about her. So even with Adam and Eve, and they both eating the fruit, they both had two hearts when they were eating this fruit. And to me, Eve was more like naive. She still had the innocence of a child when she ate the fruit. But Adam, he didn't have that same type of heart that Eve had when she ate the fruit. If you pay attention, it was good and evil attached to both. And that's what she both basically was saying. Like, you got this one seed, this one tree, this one fruit, but both can produce both good and evil. And she was just kind of breaking this down. And then even go to Adam and Eve. And their intentions was just two completely different intentions. And even after Adam ate the fruit, he started blaming God. You gave me this woman. You gave her to me. So his heart wasn't even like on that same innocent, like naive level as Eve when she ate the fruit. Like, I really do think she was just tricked and deceived, so to speak, and in her heart, because she knew no bad. She really was just like, ooh, this is good. Adam, he coming on a whole different level. He coming on a whole different level, and then he had the nerve to tell God, it's your fault because this the woman you gave me. Like, you gave me this woman. So, and God judged them very harshly. If you look at the curse behind both of them, God said, he told Adam, who is man, by the sweat of your brow, you shall till the, like, God had it hard on them. So a lot of these men be like, why it's so hard? I got it hard. And they try to do what they can to take the load up off of them. But when you go back to the beginning of time, that was just the consequence behind the disobedience. Yeah, you're reborn through Christ, but so you under a new covenant through Christ, but it was just something that men had to go through. But men said, I don't want to deal with this workload. I don't want to deal with this. So they try to throw it on women. Yeah, I'm just speaking, this is my opinion. They don't want to deal with that heavy workload. So what they do is they put it back, throw it on the women. So they put the workload that they supposed to be walking around here and it's pushed on us women out here. And so God, he blessed the women. So that's why you see all these women with all these businesses booming, doing it. Like, you see all these women bouncing up because the men and threw all the responsibility back on the woman. So God bless the woman. God been blessing the women because we the head out here. Like, we got to hold it down, keep the family. Like, we the one that's stepping up. This ain't the order for God, though. This not the order of God, but because of the role and the position we in out here, God, he blessing us to be able to be a head out here. But we weren't never intended to be no head of no household. But that's what it is, though. Through the chaos that's going on, this is not the order of God, but because of what's going on, God, he blessing the mamas. He blessing the women out here that got to hold down the whole family and all the kids and everything going on. Like, God blessing us out here so we can do what we need to do out here. Because the head is cut. Where the man at? So, okay, so somebody got to step up and play the role, don't he? Don't somebody got to jump into the role? Okay, so that's what's going on. So, I mean, God, he working on getting the order together, but it's chaos. Even in the pulpit, where the men at? So you got the women that got to step up and jump in the role in the pulpit now. Because the men, where they at? Okay, the head cut. So he got to use the helper. And now we got to jump in these roles that God didn't even design for us to be in out here. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. So, she speak on this. Adam and Eve, one good, one evil. This tree of life that contain both good and evil. And how she says it's a duality. It's a duality. When Eve ate the fruit, it was innocent in nature. But when Adam ate the fruit, his heart was evil, basically. He didn't do it out of innocence. Like, he knew better. Eve necessarily didn't know better. Adam knew better because he had a personal covenant with God himself. Eve never had that covenant with God. And God punished them accordingly. And he had a very harsh punishment behind disobeying God. Adam did. Okay. I'm talking about this duality. And all of it is, when you go out in the real world, good and bad is mixed together. It's no way separating. You think, oh, I'm this to a Christian son. God said, ain't nothing Christian about that son. That son been rejected. Because the person singing the song ain't even living for me. So how is this a holy song? How is this song holy? And the person that's singing the song living a blasphemous lifestyle out here. But you look down, like some people, like, I understand certain music, okay. But if you feel like, ooh, I'm just holier or thou out here, because what I consume every day is praises to God. Because look at the type of Christian music I listen to. And then you want to look and judge other people because the music they listen to. But what you don't know is the music contaminated. All the music contaminated. It's hard to find a song that's like, okay, for God, good, pure. Even if they singing about God, that song contaminated. Because the person who's singing it is corrupt and blasphemous. And they ain't living the life that they teaching and preaching out here. It's contaminated. It's filled. So how can you separate and say, ooh, I can't believe you listen to Sexy Red. My red hurts. I'm going to say Sexy Red. I can't believe you listening to Sexy Red, but you looking at Kurt Franklin. You listening to Kurt Franklin, though. Shake It on stage. In his skinny jeans. And you feel like what? That's better? It's all corrupt. He's saying, yeah, you think he's singing about God because you hear God, but God himself saying, no, this ain't for me. I don't know what God he's singing to, but I'm not that. So you got these Christian artists, and you feel like because they are Christian artists, the music that you receiving is holy and pure. That you might well be listening to Sexy Red, tell you the truth. Some of these songs from some of these Christians, you might well be listening to Sexy Red out here. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm just saying it's a contamination with everything going on. You got to pray over everything going on all day, every day, because you taking in both the good and the bad. It cannot be separated. You receiving and taking all this in. You can't try to limit how much you receive and take in, but even then you're gonna be exposed to something. Because even when I watch TV, I'm exposed to something. It's no way I can watch TV and not be exposed to nothing going on. Like, it's no way it's impossible.